Lawless brought new weapons and equipment, a pickle and a rap beef with T-Pain, and lots of gold.
I love gold!
Which brings us to what I think is the most important change this season, the addition of vaults and black markets to the island. These new objectives have built on the foundation that was set in the Hunter season in ways that I didn't think was possible, and I personally think that people aren't aware of how impressive these set pieces are. So today, we're going to be talking about the vaults and why they may be the perfect addition to Fortnite. Go ahead and grab some thermite, and let's dive into the wild world of Lawless. So to understand why things are working so well now, we first have to understand the groundwork that was set not only last season, but with Battle Royale games in general. The basic premise of a Battle Royale is a bunch of players disperse on a map, killing each other off slowly and trying to scavenge what randomized loot they can to build the best loadout possible. Slowly, a shrinking zone or ring will limit the playable area. This shrinking zone will act as a sort of funnel, forcing the remaining players together until the last player standing wins. This is the same general concept in PUBG, Apex Legends, Warzone, and yes, even Fortnite. What separates Fortnite from the other Battle Royale games, however, is that they have taken this concept of funneling players together and tried to build on it. That brings us to Chapter 6, Season 1. Hunters had strong initial presentation, setting up a bright, colorful island with many interesting POIs. The weapons and equipment were fun to use, and probably most importantly, there were multiple objectives throughout the map to engage with. We could pick up water and wind sprites, returning them to shrines for rewards. There were also earth sprites where you could trade in any weapon for a random higher rarity replacement. There was the forecast station, allowing you to see the location of future storm circles. Everything individually was pretty solid, and there were multiple ways you could play each match in the Hunter's season. But what really tied everything together and just made it chef's kiss was the main PvE objectives throughout the match. If you wanted to, you could start at Demon's Dojo and fight the Puppeteer Night Rose boss for a special medallion and SMG. This would start you off with a auto-reloading effect for your weapons and gave you a solid scoped weapon right off the rip, allowing you to have a leg up on the competition. From there, you could rotate out into other objectives until the floating island spawns, allowing you to fight Shogun X for his medallion, which gave you unlimited stamina and made your character invisible while sprinting. If you managed to pick up a Typhoon Blade before you left Demon's Dojo or from any of the other players you killed throughout the match, you were now set to rotate into zone and have a pretty good chance of cleaning up the rest of the remaining players. Now, of course, there were some variations overall to this pathing. Personally, I usually opted to ignore the Night Rose fight and just tried to set myself up in a good position to quickly take down Shogun X once the island spawned in, because his medallion was much more useful. But the point I'm trying to make is this. There was a general outline for the flow of the match, and that gave players a blueprint for how to effectively progress and build a loadout that would give them the best chance of winning possible. You could also play into the factor that this progression is what most people were following, allowing you to set traps or capitalize on players being distracted while fighting demon bosses by third partying. This set up a collection of mini-funnels that would force players together, increasing the likelihood of fights and helping the match feel more exciting. When taking Demon's Dojo, I would often be contested. While trying to turn in sprites, I would also see other players at the shrine trying to do the same thing. I would often run into somebody else trying to take down the forecast station NPCs at the same time I was. And when the floating island archipelago appeared, I would often arrive while someone was already trying to take down Shogun X, or somebody would walk up on me while I was trying to beat him. Each of these funnels breaks the match down into inflection points, keeping the match highly action-packed and limiting downtime. The only issue with this progression, in my opinion, is that by the end of the season, this main progression line kind of started to feel stale. I found myself getting bored hitting the same objectives in the same POIs, but realistically that path offered such big advantages, it felt like I was throwing by trying anything else. I felt that this could have been improved, and I really hoped we would see Epic build on what they started when Chapter 6 Season 1 ended. So that brings us to the present with Chapter 6 Season 2. Lawless updated the map with vaults that can be broken into for loot, including weapons, gold, and the meme cryptocurrency Dill Bits. This gives players direction for the flow of their matches, but offers multiple vaults that you can start at and different black markets you can go to after you clean them out, increasing our options. The vault objectives help to build on the flow that Battle Royale games naturally have and iterate on the foundation set by Chapter 6 Season 1, helping to keep the momentum up during the match. The flow of the game can run as follows. At the beginning of the game, you drop in and grab some loot and then make your way directly to a vault. These locations act as mini focal points that draw players to one objective in the same way that the floating island did last season, leading to more fights and less downtime during the match. On top of that, the act of breaking into the vault keeps you on your toes, as you have to take out NPC security guards while keeping an eye and ear out for other players trying to steal your score. After taking down contesting players and security, you are rewarded with a lot of good loot to update your loadout. From there you can rotate to another vault, try and stop an armored truck, take down a loot train, or head off to spend your gold and dill bits at a black market, all of which acts as more mini funnel points forcing player interaction. We have gone from having one flow for the match with a few major landmarks to a new web of progression that could be started in multiple areas of the map at the same time, allowing for more variety in how you handle things and where you go from that initial objective. You can start at any of the vaults on the map and have a good time trying to crack them, and then move on to the next objective you want once you are done. You can also opt to just drop in the match near a black market if you want to try and get some purple weapons and shield pots at the start of the match, if you're feeling bold enough, especially since it's so easy to get more gold before you move on to the next match. Now, not everything with this setup is perfect. I've seen some players camping black markets just waiting for people to come down to shop because they know that other players will eventually head that way. And while I do think that camping is pretty lame in most instances, it makes sense because these objectives are so important to your loadout progression this season. Maybe Epic could add a way of seeing that other players were in the black market with a sign outside stating, oh, there's X amount of customers in line in front of you, so that way you knew and could approach cautiously. But I also think that just treating each black market as a risky but necessary venture can be fun in its own way too. I always try to keep my guard up while shopping there, trying to get what I need quickly, and you can usually purchase a rift from the NPC working there to escape or use a porta potty, so you do have options. I am hopeful that we can see the devs continue to develop this flow and this system of funnels as the Lawless season goes on, and I'm excited to see what they change in Chapter 6 Season 3 to make the experience even better. I have never played a Battle Royale game that makes me feel like all my actions have purpose like this game does, and I think it's a big reason that I don't get as burnt out as easily as I would have with other games in the past. I'm also hoping that the fact that we have multiple areas to start at and different secondary objectives to choose from can help prevent this season from feeling stale as quickly as the last one did, but unfortunately only time will tell with that. Overall, I feel like the vaults and black markets are an excellent step forward in helping players have control over the flow of their match. Battle Royales are all about randomness, but the objectives currently on offer on the Season 2 map not only give players a way to get the loadout that they want, but also offer engaging ways to keep progressing as the number of players remaining dwindles down. This season is called Lawless after all, so it only makes sense that Epic allows us to do what we want. Smash, grab, and build our ideal loadout in whatever way our rebellious heart sees fit. I'm just thankful that we have as many options available to us as we do, and it makes me feel really excited about what waits for me in the future. Thank you so much for taking time to watch the video today. If you want to stay up to date on my latest thoughts on the game, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and check out my socials in the description. While you're down there, please give me your thoughts on the flow of vaults and black markets in the comments below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about all aspects of this season, so sound off in those comments. Also, feel free to let me know if there's any other topics you would like to see me cover here on the channel. And if you really want to be cool, maybe throw the video a like, it would really help out. But with all that said, I'm off to spend all this gold I've been collecting. As always, make sure you eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I'll see you in the next one, friends.